Welcome back to the BookCast. Today we are unpacking every layer of the incredible novel Far from the Madding Crowd. Get ready for a deep dive into its characters, themes, and the hidden meanings behind the story.
We really are. It's a journey into Thomas Hardy's Wessex, isn't it? A world just brimming with passion, mistaken identity.
Oh, absolutely. And, ultimately enduring love. It's quite the landscape he paints.
It really is. And Hardy, his ability to blend the epic with the intimate, it's just unparalleled. He crafts this world that feels, deeply familiar, but also totally unique.
So our mission today is basically to pull out the key moments, the really important stuff from this classic tale.
Exactly. Give you a really good, solid understanding without getting bogged down in every single twist and turn. Because let's face it, there are plenty.
There definitely are. We'll trace the story right from Gabriel Oak's quiet start.
The shepherd's ambition, all the way to Bathsheba's, dramatic heartbreaks as a farm owner.
All set against this backdrop of rural England, just as it's starting to really change.
Yeah, it's a classic for a reason. So many insights into human nature that honestly still hit home today.
All right, let's really set the stage properly then. When you read Far from the Madding Crowd, you're immediately pulled into Hardy's world, this place he calls Wessex.
And it's so much more than just a backdrop, isn't it? It feels alive, almost like another character.
Totally. And Hardy himself, in his preface, he kind of explains it. He says he ventured to adopt the word Wessex from the pages of early English history.
Right, but he makes it clear, doesn't he? It's got a fictitious significance. It's the name for the district his stories are set in, this extinct kingdom he borrows.
Yeah, he needed a name, something to tie his books together.
And what's really fascinating, you get this glimpse into his creative process, is that he didn't just randomly pick it, he was consciously building this literary universe.
He needed a bigger canvas, right? Not just one count.
Exactly. He said the area of a single county did not afford a canvas large enough. So Wessex became this unifying thing, a way to lend unity to their scene for his whole series of novels, which he called, mainly of the kind called local.
It's deliberate world building.
Completely. And he even sounds a bit surprised himself that the name caught on, that it was soon taken up elsewhere as a local designation. Like his fiction started shaping reality.
That's amazing. It shows the power of his writing. For you listening, it's a great example of how authors create these immersive worlds, adding layers and history.
Definitely. So within this big imaginary Wessex, the main place we spend our time, especially early on, is the village of Weatherbury or Lower Longpuddle.
That's the one. And Hardy paints this picture, it's kind of poignant, of what's lasted and what's gone.
He talks about how the church remains unrestored and intact, like this symbol of the past still standing.
But then there's the flip side, the change. He mentions the ancient malt house has been pulled down these 20 years.
And most of the old cottages, too, the thatched and dormered ones, gone.
It really sets up this core theme, doesn't it? This clash between the old ways and the new.
Absolutely. It's crucial.
Yeah.
He's commenting on what was happening in rural England at the time. He actually complains about this break of continuity in local history.
He blames the migratory laborers replacing the old families, the stationary cottagers.
Yeah, for Hardy, that wasn't just about jobs changing. It meant losing traditions, losing legend, folklore, close intersocial relations, and eccentric individualities. The soul of the place, basically.
That tension, tradition versus change, it runs right through the novel. You feel it everywhere.
It's a microcosm of a bigger shift. What do we lose when communities change, when those deep roots are pulled up? It's a question Hardy keeps asking.
Okay, so that's the world. Now let's bring in our first key player, Gabriel Oak. And what an entrance.
He makes quite the impression. Hardy gives us this fantastic description, especially his smile.
Oh yeah, the smile where the corners of his mouth spread till they were within an unimportant distance of his ears. His eyes were reduced to mere chinks. You just instantly picture it.
You do. It gives you this immediate sense of someone genuine, easygoing, warm.
And his character, his moral color, Hardy calls it a kind of pepper and salt mixture.
Which isn't bad, right? It means he's fundamentally good, solid, but maybe a bit hazy on Sundays, those misty views.
Yeah.
He's human.
Relatable, yeah. Not some perfect saint. But he's described as a young man of sound judgment, easy motions, proper dress, and general good character.
Dependable. The kind of person you trust instinctively. He just feels capable.
And his age is interesting, too. He's just reached the time of life at which young is ceasing to be the prefix of man.
Right. Suggesting he's mature, maybe more grounded than his years suggest, at the brightest period of masculine growth. This quiet strength he has, it gets tested, big time.
But that core character it holds, he's resilient.
Definitely an anchor.
And he's got ambition right from the start. He's setting up his own farm as master and not as man.
Taking a risk, too, with an advance of sheep not yet paid for. 200 sheep. That's a big deal.
A huge commitment for a young guy trying to make it on his own, moving up from shepherd to farmer.
And it's right around this time, this hopeful, ambitious phase, that he first sees Bathsheba Everdeen.
The famous scene, he spots her through the hedge, right? Admiring herself in a mirror.
And she's thinking about her future, about far off, though likely dramas in which men would play a part.
But what's amazing is Gabriel's reaction, or observation, really.
Instantly. Despite how beautiful she obviously is, he clocks her vanity as her greatest fault. Just like that.
It's not mean, is it? It's just perceptive. He sees beyond the surface.
Exactly. It shows his wisdom, his understanding of people, especially her. It sets him apart right away.
It definitely sets up a contrast with other characters we'll meet later. He's got this quiet strength, this insight.
For you listening, notice that who really sees people? Beyond the obvious. That's often where the real understanding lies.
So let's talk more about Bathsheba then. The woman who catches Gabriel's eye, and, well, a few others too.
She is definitely striking. And crucially, she knows it. Even in that private moment Gabriel sees.
Hardy says she sees herself as a fair product of nature and the feminine kind. There's a self-awareness there.
Yeah, and that line about her self-consciousness, vanity if a little more pronounced, dignity if a little less, it perfectly captures that youthful balance, doesn't it?
Poised between liking herself and having this presence.
Right. And interestingly, she draws that line, dividing the seen from the unseen, higher than they do it in towns.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit guarded despite the confidence.
Or just a kind of rural modesty, perhaps, that adds layers to her.
It's a really nuanced description. She's not just pretty. She's got this inner life, those vistas of probable triumphs, Gabriel noticed.
And a fierce independence, even then. A defiance of what was expected of women.
Even if it's just admiring herself at this point, she has this magnetic quality. She's compelling even before she inherits the farm, strong-willed.
You can see why Gabriel is drawn in.
Oh, absolutely. And it doesn't take him long to decide what he wants. He basically says to himself, I'll make her my wife, or upon my soul I shall be good for nothing.
Wow. That's quite the declaration. Pretty resolute.
He means it, so he proposes. And the scene itself is quite picturesque, isn't it? A fine January morning, sunny.
Yeah, a hopeful setting. Which makes her rejection even more, well, stark.
It's immediate, decisive, almost blunt. I don't love you.
And she laughs. No, no, I cannot. Don't press me anymore. Don't. I don't love you, so 'twould be ridiculous.
Ouch. The ridiculous must have stung.
And she tells him she's content to be liked, but she can't return his love. Not like that.
It's really insightful, this early scene. It foreshadows so much about Bathsheba. Her impulsiveness, her maybe not quite recognizing true affection yet.
That laugh may be a defense,
Yeah.
but it dismisses him and his feelings.
Definitely. And it touches on those Victorian pressures around marriage versus her own independent streak. She won't settle for just liking someone.
Which is admirable in a way, but
leads to some questionable choices later on, absolutely. It sets up her whole journey of figuring out love through trial and, unfortunately, error.
And Gabriel's reaction to being shot down like that says so much about him.
It really does. Hardy writes, no man likes to see his emotions the sport of a merry-go-round of skittishness. Very well said up.
Very well. So simple, but so powerful. No drama, no anger.
Just quiet dignity, acceptance, but you know it hurts. He contains it.
It really shows his strength, his fortitude. He absorbs the blow and just stands firm.
Doesn't lash out, doesn't plead. It sets him apart from others who might react differently. It shows respect for her decision, even if he's hurt.
He's disappointed, but not broken.
Not at all. And that inner strength is about to be tested in a huge way.
Almost immediately, right? Just as he's trying to build this independent life, disaster strikes.
Awful. His sheep, his whole investment, his future, really. They break through a hedge, fall into a chalk pit, all dead.
Hardy calls it a horrible conviction when Gabriel finds them. Just devastating.
Total catastrophe. And the sheep weren't insured. All the savings of a frugal life dispersed at a blow. His hopes of being a farmer, gone, possibly forever.
It's the kind of thing that would just crush most people.
Absolutely. But this is where Gabriel's real character shines. His reaction is, well, extraordinary.
Instead of despair, he finds this dignified calm he had never before known and indifference to fate. Sublimity, Hardy calls it.
He doesn't wallow. He adapts, so practically. He almost joins the army.
Right, the cavalry.
Big.
And he thinks better of it.
And goes back to what he knows best, shepherding. He gets a new crook for 2 shillings, trades his coat for a smock frock, just sheds the farmer persona.
It shows incredible resilience, humility too, and that connection to his real calling.
He loses everything material, but gains this inner peace, this acceptance. He finds his worth isn't tied to being a master.
It's not defeat, it's like a regrounding, finding his core again.
Exactly. A powerful reminder that true strength isn't about possessions.
But it's still tough going, right? Finding work isn't easy.
No, farmers are wary. A man who owned his own farm and lost it. There's a stigma, even though it wasn't his fault.
And then there's that beautiful image of him playing his flute.
Oh yeah, jockey to the fair, playing with Arcadian sweetness, cheering himself up and the people listening. It shows his spirit is just unbroken.
So he keeps going, ends up wandering towards Weatherbury, about 20 miles from where he started.
Which is setting up this huge irony, of course. The man Bathsheba rejected, now humbled, is heading right back into her world completely by chance or fate.
His journey, just quietly persevering, it says everything about him. He doesn't need grand gestures.
Just keeps going, guided by his own compass. It sets the stage for everything that happens next.
And fate, or just the need for a good shepherd in Weatherbury, definitely brings them back together. But the roles are totally flipped.
It happens during that dramatic fire scene, doesn't it? The straw stack fire, chaos everywhere, farmhands running around cluelessly.
Remarkable confusion of purpose, as Hardy puts it. Total panic.
And then Gabriel, a total stranger to them, just steps in, takes charge, cuts right through the mess.
He's incredible. Barking orders, stop the draft, get a tarpaulin, saves the wheat rick.
Whizzing his arms about like a windmill, he's heroic. And who's watching all this competence?
Bathsheba. Her first appearance at Weatherbury Upper Farm, veiled.
Right. And she sees him, wishes she had a shepherd just like him, having absolutely no idea it is him, the man she turned down.
The irony is just perfect. Her future dependence on him is right there from the start, even if she doesn't know it.
What a turnaround indeed. Because now she's the boss, mistress of Weatherbury Upper Farm, inherited from her uncle.
And her first move, sacks the old farm manager, the Bailey, declares she'll do everything herself.
Which is incredibly bold for a woman back then, a huge statement.
Hardy talks about her going to the corn market, calls it a triumph. She's like a queen among these gods of the fallow, asserting herself in a man's world.
It really shows her independent spirit, challenging those gender norms. But you also sense her inexperience, maybe a bit of insecurity under the surface, especially with all eyes on her.
She's navigating new territory, literally and socially. Her pride is her strength, but also maybe a vulnerability.
Absolutely. Wants to prove herself, but also dealing with all the attention. It's that timeless tension, society's expectations versus what you want for yourself.
And then they finally meet properly again in the churchyard. He's only a shepherd, but she acknowledges he's almost a farmer by your ways.
But she's cool towards him, isn't she? Almost formal. Gabriel's rather staggered by it. Her pride is up.
Even though she needed his help, saw how capable he was.
But he needs the work. And maybe there's still a spark of hope. He agrees to be her shepherd.
The roles are completely reversed. She's in charge now.
And she relies on him, his strength, his know-how, even if she won't admit it. He accepts his place, pragmatic as ever.
But you know she's drawn to his competence, even if subconsciously she needs him.
It sets up this really complex dynamic, his quiet loyalty versus her pride, a total contrast to the next guy who enters the scene.
Ah, yes. Let's bring in Farmer Boldwood, figure number 3 in Bathsheba's life.
Described as a gentleman farmer, right? 40 years old. Very handsome, rather stern-looking and rich. Sounds promising on the surface.
Very promising. But he's known for being incredibly reserved. And there are rumors.
Whispers about a bitter disappointment when he was younger. Maybe jilted. Something shut him down emotionally.
And this is key to understanding him. Hardy really drills down on his psychology, his repressed nature.
That description is chilling. If an emotion possessed him, it ruled him. A feeling not mastering him was entirely latent. He was always hit murderly or he was missed.
Wow, so no middle ground, either completely indifferent or utterly consumed.
Exactly. No light and careless touches. He's all or nothing emotionally, which makes him incredibly vulnerable when something finally does hit him.
He's like a ticking time bomb, emotionally speaking, isolated, intense.
Just waiting for a spark.
And the spark is, well, something incredibly small, almost silly, the Valentine.
Oh, the fateful Valentine. Bathsheba sends it idle and unreflectingly. Just a bit of fun, right?
A childish prank, almost, with that big red seal saying, "Marry me."
But for Boldwood, this completely trivial thing becomes monumental, life-altering. Hardy says it changed their tenor from the thoughtlessness of their origin to a deep solemnity.
He doesn't see it as a joke at all. He thinks it's a serious proposal to him.
It's a huge moment of tragic miscommunication. This contemptibly little card suggests possibilities of the infinitely great to him.
His mind, starved of any romantic attention, just twists it into something profound.
He's so unused to being singled out, he completely misreads it through the lens of his own loneliness and longing. It shows the danger when people are on such different emotional wavelengths.
Their casual act becomes the trigger for his obsession.
Absolutely. He even puts it in his looking glass, a constant reminder, a fixation. It's chilling, really, how a small thing can have such huge consequences.
So, fueled by this misguided hope, Boldwood makes his move. He proposes at the sheep washing.
And it's intense, almost desperate. I am now 41 years old. Beyond all things, I want you as my wife. All that pent-up emotion just floods out.
Bathsheba's completely taken aback. Her refusal is painful, stammering. She says, "I do not feel what would justify me to accepting your offer."
Crucially, though, it's not a hard no, not definitive.
Right, and that's all Boldwood needs, that slight hesitation.
He clings to it. He actually says, I am happier now because she didn't utterly refuse him. He grabs onto this great hope.
It just shows his obsessive nature again. He's not really listening to her feelings, just hearing what fits his own narrative.
He wants possession, not necessarily partnership. It contrasts so sharply with her own confusion about love, her carelessness plus his intensity. It's a recipe for disaster.
Okay, so we have Gabriel's quiet devotion, Boldwood's intense obsession, and now enter Sergeant Frank Troy, a totally different animal.
Oh, completely. Hardy calls him an exceptional being, but in a dangerous way. He lives entirely for the present moment.
Memories were an encumbrance, and anticipations a superfluity. That line says it all. No past, no future, just now.
Which makes him charming, captivating, dazzling,
Yeah.
but also utterly irresponsible. Morally bankrupt, really.
His philosophy on women is pretty telling, too.
Yeah, that's cynicism. The only alternative to flattery was cursing and swearing. No third way. Treat them fairly and you are a lost man.
He's a manipulator.
And knows exactly how to charm without any real feeling behind it. Hardy also notes his vicious phases are impulsive while his virtuous phases are calculated.
So the bad stuff is instinct, the good stuff is an act, all flash, zero substance, a whirlwind of charm and deceit.
And Bathsheba gets caught right in that whirlwind, the fur plantation encounter.
Classic Troy. She's doing her rounds at night, being independent, and he just appears.
Yeah.
Brilliant in brass and scarlet, like a stage entrance.
Out of the gloom.
Yeah.
It must have been startling. Thrilling, maybe.
And then the accident with his spur catching her dress.
Yeah, accident. Right. Forces them close together. Exactly. Creates this instant, forced intimacy. And he uses it perfectly. Hits her with that bold flattery. Thank you for the sight of such a beautiful face.
Direct, audacious, and it works, doesn't it? She blushes. She's susceptible, despite herself.
It's pure seduction. The drama, the uniform, the dark setting, the accident, the flattery. It's all designed to overwhelm her senses, bypass her judgment.
And it highlights her vulnerability to that kind of charm. It pulls her away from Gabriel's steadiness and Boldwood's intensity.
It's the power of charisma, even when it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Completely irrational, but powerful.
And if that wasn't enough, there's the sword exercise.
Oh, the sword exercise. Utterly mesmerizing. Iconic scene. In the hollow amid the ferns.
He performs this incredible display around her, so fast, so precise.
Cuts a lock of her hair, snips a caterpillar off her dress, all without touching her.
She must have been terrified, but also completely captivated, helpless almost.
It's pure theater, a metaphor for how he disarms her. He invades her space, appeals to her senses, her romantic side, completely bypassing her reason.
It's thrilling, dangerous, and it seals his hold on her, heart over head. Completely.
To her lasting regret, of course. It shows how easily glamour can win over substance.
But not everyone is fooled. Gabriel isn't.
Not for a second. Bathsheba, bless her, is trying to believe Troy's a good guy. She tells Gabriel he attends church privately by the old tower door.
And Gabriel hears that, and it's like alarm bells. Like the 13th stroke of a crazy clock, Hardy writes. Something's wrong.
His instincts are spot on. He suspects Troy immediately. His grounded realism just cuts through the fantasy.
So he checks, right? Goes to the gallery door.
Finds it totally disused, covered in ivy, confirms Troy's lying.
It just highlights the massive difference between them. Gabriel sees the truth, Bathsheba's caught in the illusion.
Stark contrast. Her romantic notions versus harsh reality. It shows how easily infatuation can blind you.
So Bathsheba's caught up, torn, vulnerable. She even confesses to Liddy, her maid.
That heartbreaking line, "Loving is misery for women always. I shall never forgive God for making me a woman, and dearly am I beginning to pay for the honor of owning a pretty face."
Wow. That's a despair talking. Frustration with her situation, the pressure's on her.
It shows how much she's struggling. And ultimately, despite Gabriel, despite Boldwood, she chooses Troy. Driven by passion, maybe defiance.
An impetuous, fateful choice. Prioritizing that immediate spark over steady reliability. She's about to pay the price.
A very high price. And the wedding itself feels doomed from the start.
Mysteriously managed. That fearful journey to Bath where the horse breaks down. Bad omens.
Yeah, secretive, difficult, hints at the trouble ahead. And Troy immediately shows his true colors. Dissatisfied with the farm, wants to modernize the house.
No interest in her life, her responsibilities. Just sees her property as a way to fund his lifestyle.
The honeymoon basically doesn't happen. His shallow, parasitic nature comes out almost instantly. Shatters her illusions.
And then the harvest home revel. That's the moment it all comes crashing down publicly.
Awful. It should be this joyous community celebration, right? In the barn, tufts and garlands of green foliage. Looks idyllic.
But Troy ruins it. Announces it's a wedding feast, which is news to everyone, and then
dismisses the women. Tells the man they'll jolly carouse to ourselves. Utter contempt. Public humiliation for Bathsheba.
blatant disregard for her position, the farm's traditions, just breathtaking arrogance.
And Bathsheba, indignant, leaves. Importantly, all the women and children and the musicians follow her out.
A stand against him, community solidarity. But she's left isolated, deeply hurt.
Her romantic dreams are completely shattered. The bitter reality of her marriage hits home. That charming facade just crumbled.
And things spiral further with the storm scene, one of the most powerful parts of the book.
Definitely. Hardy sets the mood perfectly. The sinister aspect of the night, the heated breeze, the lurid metallic look of the moon, foreboding.
A huge thunderstorm is coming. And the irony.
All the farmhands, Coggin, Poorgrass, the ones needed to protect the harvest, fast asleep in the barn. Drunk from Troy's party.
Total negligence. The farm, her livelihood, completely vulnerable.
The storm feels like more than just weather. It's like a physical manifestation of the chaos Troy brought. Nature's judgment, almost.
And the sleeping men highlight Troy's irresponsibility, his destructive influence versus the stability that's desperately needed.
And who provides that stability?
Gabriel. Always Gabriel. Alone against the elements, he takes heroic action to save the hayricks.
Tireless work. Retrieving rick cloths, covering the stacks, manually thatching the third one, whizzing his great long arms about. A silent guardian.
It just shows his goodness, his sense of duty, his love for her, for the farm, even after everything.
He's not looking for reward, just driven by responsibility, by that quiet, selfless love. While Troy causes chaos, Gabriel provides protection, the moral anchor.
True character shown in action, not words.
Absolutely. And then Bathsheba comes out into the storm, scared, vulnerable.
But she offers to help him on the ladder, despite being terrified.
In that moment, lightning flashes. She clutches his sleeve, trembling. Hardy writes, "Love, life, everything human seems small and trifling next to the infuriated universe."
A massive perspective shift for her. In that raw terror, her pride, her illusions, they just seem meaningless.
It's an awakening. She sees the value of that quiet strength. And when she realizes the other men are drunk, thanks to Troy.
She reproaches Gabriel, but tenderly. "Oh, Gabriel, how could you serve me so unkindly?" Meaning, why did you wait for me to ask for help? Why assume I didn't need you?
It's a huge shift. She's starting finally to appreciate his true worth. The storm clears the air, literally and figuratively, reveals true character.
It makes you think, where do you find real security when everything else falls apart?
Exactly. But the storm passes, and Troy's darkness continues, haunted by his past.
We find out about his gambling, shocking amounts, more than 100 pounds in a month.
Total recklessness. And he still demands more money from Bathsheba for the races.
Yeah.
20 pounds more, just using her.
It's financial abuse, plain and simple. Draining her resources, causing her so much stress, shows his impulsive, selfish nature. He's a parasite.
And then the discovery in the watch.
Oh, the lock of hair, crushing moment for Bathsheba.
She confronts him, and his confession is just chilling. Belongs to a young woman I was going to marry before I knew you, and adds she's alive and pretty.
So cruel. Confirms her worst fears, the depth of his betrayal.
It's brutal, designed to wound her, assert his power. It devastates her trust, her self-worth. She realizes she was just a pawn.
And the story of that other woman, Fanny Robin, it's just heartbreaking.
Her journey to the Castor Ridge Union House. Pregnant, alone, using tree forks under each arm as a crutch. So vulnerable.
And Troy sees her on the road.
And just whips his horse to get away. Avoids acknowledging her in front of Bathsheba. Utter cowardice. Flees his responsibility.
It shows the tragic position of women like Fanny back then. And Troy's absolute lack of conscience, any last shred of illusion about him is gone.
Fanny represents the innocent victim of his callousness, and maybe societal indifference, too. Her suffering is immense.
And even after she dies at the Union House, the tragedy continues. Poor Joseph Poorgrass bringing the coffin back.
And taking that detour to the pub, the Buck's Head, getting drunk while transporting Fanny's coffin.
It's that dark, hardy humor, isn't it? Poorgrass and his multiplying eye adds insult to injury.
It does. It's almost uncomfortable, but it deepens the sadness. Shows how human failings, even small ones, compound tragedy. Makes her death feel even more neglected.
And then Bathsheba confronts the truth head on. She has to know.
Driven by this need for answers, suspecting a connection, she opens the coffin.
And finds Fanny, and her dead baby beside her. Horrifying, devastating proof of Troy's betrayal.
It's the emotional core, isn't it? The raw, brutal reality. Innocence lost, the consequences of recklessness, all illusions shattered for Bathsheba.
Troy eventually stumbles back into this scene, his reaction.
Dismay modulated to a limitable sadness. A flicker of regret, maybe. The weight of his actions finally hitting him.
But Bathsheba's reaction is just agony. Don't kiss them. Oh, Frank, I can't bear it. Kiss me too. Frank, kiss me.
So desperate, pleading for affection even now. Shattered dignity, clinging love. It's painful to read.
And Troy's response seals it. I will not kiss you.
Brutal, final, utter cruelty, extinguishes any hope. Bathsheba hides away in the fern hollow, completely broken, psychological crucifixion.
After that, Troy disappears. Fakes his own death, right? Drowning.
Yeah, wanders to the shore, gets picked up by sailors, but lets everyone believe he's dead. Cunning self-preservation.
The newspapers report it. Formidable presumptive evidence. Bathsheba believes she shall see him no more. A strange, complicated kind of closure.
Temporary, though. Built on another lie. It leaves her in this suspended state, but also sets up the dramatic irony we know he's alive.
And while she thinks he's gone, Boldwood's hope revives. Dangerously.
Oh, yes. In his seclusion, he nurses that great hope. Convinced Troy's dead, he starts planning again, and his mental state unravels further.
The hidden closet, full of women's clothes and jewelry, all bought for Bathsheba.
Chilling detail. Shows the depth of his obsession, his delusion. He's creating this fantasy Bathsheba to possess in his mind. Truly tragic descent into madness.
And Bathsheba innocently agrees to see him at Christmas on business, which just fuels his delusion.
He plans the big Christmas party. He's described as overly cheerful, so much so that I am almost sad again. Fragile happiness. He gives her a diamond ring, pushing her.
But Troy's deception can't last forever. He comes back to England.
Working under an alias, Turpin, in a traveling show, trying to stay hidden.
But good old Joseph Poorgrass recognizes him at the Green Hill Sheep Fair. Sergeant Troy being seen, do you mean souls?
The local network kicks in. The farmhands realize Bathsheba's in the dark, and Boldwood's on a dangerous path.
They decide they have to tell her, loyal to the end. Shows that community wisdom, hearty values.
A quiet act of protection that leads directly to the climax.
The Christmas party. Boldwood's big moment. But Troy crashes it.
The ghost returns, bursts in, demanding Bathsheba. Bathsheba, I come here for you. Shocking intrusion. Chaos erupts.
And Boldwood snaps completely. The veins had swollen. Frenzied look had gleamed in his eye.
Grabs a gun. Shoots Troy. In a moment of sheer madness, desperation, years of repression exploding.
It's the dramatic peak. Passions, mistaken identities, obsession, all colliding. Murder. The dark side revealed.
Utterly tragic. Shows the destructive power of a mind pushed too far. Even quiet people have depths.
The immediate aftermath is just horror. Troy dead in Bathsheba's lap.
She sends Gabriel for a surgeon, automatically relying on him even then. Futile, of course.
Boldwood, stunned, kisses her hand, walks out into the night. No one stops him. Just shock.
A chilling paralysis. The gravity of it all sinks in. Irreversible consequences.
Boldwood is caught, obviously, and they find the closet of clothes. Proof of his derangement.
Which saves him from the gallows. He's condemned to confinement instead, acknowledging his madness.
A tragic end. A warning about unchecked emotion, loneliness.
Absolutely. The mind breaking under pressure.
And Bathsheba collapses, fainting fits, moaning, "Oh, it is my fault."
Crushing guilt and grief. She withdraws completely. Becomes reclusive. It's a period of deep introspection.
She reflects on her pride, her choices. How pride ruled my will, acknowledging her part in it all.
It's a painful but necessary process. Facing the consequences, her mistakes. It's where her character is truly forged anew. The start of healing.
And through it all, who's there?
Gabriel. Always Gabriel.
Yeah.
Steadfast. He steps up, manages Boldwood's farm, provides stability.
Supports Bathsheba quietly. Never pushes, just there. An anchor.
His loyalty, his competence, his goodness, it's the constant thread. Contrasting with all the chaos, he embodies quiet heroism, everyday commitment.
So finally, we get to the resolution. Quiet, understated, love forged in hardship.
Bathsheba recovers slowly, tentatively returns to life, managing the farm again, but differently.
Out of sheer necessity, not youthful pride, more mature. And she starts to really see Gabriel.
See his strength, his loyalty, the superficial stuff has burned away. True worth is visible now.
It's a slow, profound shift in her understanding of partnership, of love.
And then Gabriel makes his final proposal, in his own direct way.
Managing Boldwood's farm, doing well, admits, "I am sniffing about here with the thought of getting you someday."
And clarifies, marry an OE in plain British. So straightforward.
And Bathsheba accepts calmly, almost surprised, but deeply. She finally understands his value.
It's a mature proposal, grounded in shared history, mutual respect, built through hell and back. Not grand gestures, but reality.
Her calm acceptance shows her growth. She appreciates the love that lasted, the quiet, steady kind.
Exactly. A quiet acknowledgement of the only true affection she's known.
And the wedding reflects that maturity. Simple, private.
She asks for the most private, secret, plainest wedding possible. No fanfare.
Gabriel arranges it. Just Liddy, Laban Tal as witnesses, community figures.
And Torgrass's comment sums up the community feeling. Ephraim is joined to idols. Let him alone, acknowledging her past mistakes.
But then conceding, "It might have been worse, and I feel my thanks accordingly." Relief. Rightness.
Yeah, a sense of peace, things have settled. Contrast that with the secretive, disastrous wedding to Troy. This feels stable, genuine.
A return to community, steadfastness, a pragmatic, satisfying end.
And this whole deep dive, it really leaves you thinking, doesn't it? About love itself. Hardy describes their love. It's fascinating.
He calls it that substantial affection which arises when the two who are thrown together begin first by knowing the rougher sides of each other's character and not the best till further on.
The romance growing up in the interstices of a mass of hard, prosaic reality.
Wow. And he says it's the only love which is strong as death, that love which many waters cannot quench nor the floods drown, beside which the passion usually called by the name is evanescent as steam.
Powerful stuff. So it leaves us with this question, maybe. Is true, lasting love found in those dramatic sparks?
Yeah.
Or is it in the quiet, steady affection that actually withstands the hard, prosaic reality of life?
In a world chasing instant gratification, are we maybe overlooking the love that truly lasts? What does it really look like when you strip away the romance and face reality together? Something to think about.
It's definitely something to ponder.
And there you have it. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us and this story. If you enjoyed it, a simple like or subscribe helps the channel out more than you know. Be good and take care.